Okay, welcome back to BT. We say good morning to Senior Business Editor Mike Eppel. Hello, happy Monday.
Hey, same to you, Faiza. How you doing?
Can't complain. How are you?
Good, thank you. Good weekend. Good weekend. Had put up the Christmas lights.
Oh, that's my favorite. I love when people start putting up their decorations.
Well, my wife, said, get out there and put up the Christmas lights because the weather's going to get cold.
True, and she was right to do that. We are going to talk with Frankie about that in a little bit. So.
and she also spotted me on the ladder because goodness knows you don't want to fall off a ladder.
Teamwork makes the dream work.
Right now, I don't want to. That's right. You don't want to get into the hospital system right now. That's for sure.
Right. Okay. I know you're keeping a close eye on Queen's Park today. It's going to be a busy day there. We're expecting the province to release the fall fiscal update this afternoon. So what can we expect there? What are you keeping an eye on?
It's going to be interesting to see how much of a budgetary surplus actually the province is running right now. They announced yesterday in that Sunday morning news conference that they were going, the Premier and Finance Minister Peter Bethlenfalvy are going to extend the gas tax cut for another year. It was set to expire in December. It's going to be extended for a year, 5.7 cents per liter or thereabouts. That's going to cost the budget $1.2 billion in lost revenue. And still, the Financial Accountability Office is projecting budget surpluses for this province between now and 2028. So you've got a situation where the money has been coming in because of, inflation, which has actually bolstered the revenue stream for all levels of government, primarily the provincial and the federal level. But at the same time, you've got that juxtaposed with, contract negotiations right now and the demand from unions for pay increases to, related to inflation. And then, of course, the Premier is saying yesterday that they're not sparing any expense on the healthcare sector, but at the same time, we're still dealing with this healthcare crisis. And by the looks of things, a lack of staffing. I realize you have to, it takes time to train up doctors and nurses, and they've hired more, but they've lost a lot in the process as well over the past couple of years. So you got a lot of interesting signals coming from the fiscal update specifically and how it ties into how the province is actually being run.
Okay, something you and I also talked about last week. Officials in both the U.S. and the Bahamas now investigating the collapse of crypto trading platform FTX. They were hacked last week.
Yeah, it turns out in the midst of a $36 billion collapse of FTX, somebody got in on Friday and stole $475 million worth of crypto tokens. I thought the whole idea behind crypto was supposed to be about the security. It was unregulated. Now everybody's calling for regulation. This is, this was seen last week as the worst week in the history of cryptocurrencies because this is the fourth collapse now of a trading platform. So, people, and then we had all the sports celebrities and the Tom Brady's and the Steph Curry's promoting FTX and all these other things just earlier this year, and it just was an abject mess for that entire industry, if you will, last week. Bitcoin, interestingly, is kind of stable this morning. It's about 16,500. But yeah, you have to figure charges are going to be laid at some point, either in the Bahamas or by American regulators.
Okay, keeping an eye on that. Okay, Canadians might want to tune in on Wednesday. We're expecting inflation and grocery earnings from both Loblaws and Metro.
This is going to be interesting. We get the inflation report for October from Stats Canada, but just before that, in the morning, we'll get the earnings from Loblaws and Metro, two of the biggest grocery store retail chains. And what have we seen recently, Faiza, about grocery prices have been the biggest contributor on a month-to-month basis to the inflation rate, and so much so that now there's this federal committee that's being formed to look at grocery pricing, whether there's price gouging, the supply chain, all of these things. So that's going to be interesting. We are expecting, though, a little bit of a pullback in the year-over-year inflation data for October. We saw that last week in the U.S. Consumer Price Inflation Report, which, of course, spurred on a massive rally for the financial markets. So fingers crossed that we're starting to see a little bit more price relief, or at least less inflation. I don't know how you want to. Prices don't come down.
Right. Well,
maybe they'll stabilize.
Right. That's
Maybe
the
they'll
hope.
stabilize.
That's the hope. Okay. Yeah. Senior Business Editor Mike Eppel, thanks so much. We'll catch up with you later this week.
Thank you.